What's happening, everybody? Boy Big Brando, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about sublimation. Now, some of you guys might know I have a Sawgrass SG400 that I've had for maybe about 4 months or so now, and this is my first video I'm making about it. Now, I didn't want to make a video right out the gate and just say, hey, check it out. Here's the printer, you guys should go and buy it. I wanted to actually put it through its paces. So in doing so, for the last 4 months, I've been testing a lot of stuff out. I ran into a lot of issues on my end, not necessarily the printer, but I had a few IT hiccups, if you want to say that. So currently I use a MacBook Pro. So that's how I'm sending the files to the Sawgrass printer. Now, when you get your Sawgrass printer, you have to actually download the drivers, download the print manager, and get everything loaded up in order for your printer to work smoothly. My issue was my computer wasn't updated to the latest operating system, so it wasn't talking to the Sawgrass printer correctly. So I thought my computer was up to date. I loaded up the driver. I was downloading the print manager. I think it was called VPM, Virtuoso Print Manager, and it looked like it downloaded, but it really wouldn't download, where I couldn't open anything up, but it said it was there. So I thought I was good, so I just started sending files from Photoshop straight to the printer, and things were printing, so I thought everything was going good. Now, the issue that I kept running into was really dull and muted prints. Now remember, I'm printing directly from Photoshop straight to the printer. I'm not going through the print manager system because I just think it's already loaded on my computer, and if I could just treat this thing like a regular desktop printer, print straight from Photoshop, I should be good. Prints are coming out of the machine. I feel like I'm doing a good job. So the issue was all these prints were coming out really dull and muted. I haven't did sublimation in like 10 years, so I'm thinking, all right, maybe this is something that I have to bump up the saturation, or maybe make some of these images look a little bit more vibrant so the prints will come out better. So I'm driving up the saturation. I'm doing everything I can to make the colors look a lot more vibrant, and the prints are still coming out really dull. For example, I want to show you a mug that I did with the really bad prints. So this was a digital print that I did. You might have seen it on Instagram. I turned my family into Bob's Burgers characters. And then this is a picture of my actual family. So the test with this was, how does a digital print look, like a digital made image, and then also a photographic image on a mug. So if you could see this, everything looks really dull, muted, kind of has like a tannish color to it. All the colors kind of just blend together, and it doesn't look like a solid actual print. So I ran a few more tests, and everything was coming out the same exact way. When I did socks, when I did mugs, when I did tumbler mugs, everything still came out the same exact way, and I started to blame the printer. So I was thinking maybe the inks are bad. I contacted Heat Press Nation because that's where I got the printer from, and I started talking to Jared and some of the guys over there about my issue. Now, the good thing about Heat Press Nation is their customer service is amazing. So the first thing Jared told me to do was, are you sending the images to print through VPM, or Virtuoso Print Manager? That's the Sawgrass software to send stuff to print. And I said, I have it loaded on my computer, but I'm printing directly from Photoshop. And he said, make sure you're sending it through the VPM software to the printer, and you'll get better results. So now I go back to my computer, and I'm trying to open up the VPM software, and it's not coming up with anything. I'm getting a really weird name in the upper left hand corner, and when I open it, nothing happens. Blank screen. So I send Jared some screenshots, and I say, hey, is this what it's supposed to look like? He said, no. Are you using a Mac? I said, yeah. He said, all right, there's a little workaround that you have to do, but it's not a big deal. So I followed his instructions once again, and still the same results. And now I'm really blaming the printer, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but the issue was on my end. So I had the latest version of VPM loaded up, but I had a really old version of my operating system on my computer. So once I updated the computer and reloaded the VPM software, everything worked perfect. So now the VPM software works flawlessly. You upload your designs straight to the VPM software. They'll go through a few steps. What are you going to be sublimating on? What kind of paper are you using? What kind of inks you're using? Send it to print. Boom. Everything works flawlessly. So as a side-by-side, I want to show you guys what that same exact mug looks like when I was printing directly from Photoshop versus when I send it through the VPM software. So here's the mug straight from Photoshop, and then here is the mug straight from the VPM software. As you can see, obviously the big difference is the yellow and reds are way more vibrant. Hopefully this is in focus. These ones very muted. look crap. Once again, here's Photoshop. You can see some of the banding in the print. Looks real crappy. And here is straight from the VPM software. Colors look vibrant. Everything looks a lot better. Try to get a side-by-side for you guys. VPM, Photoshop. I created the images in Photoshop. This layout was done in Photoshop and I just uploaded it straight to the VPM software. And look at the difference. Crazy. So now that I got everything working, I'm starting to bang out a bunch of different sublimation orders. So there's going to be a lot of videos coming up soon regarding sublimation. Now, I'm not going to be sublimating on t-shirts. I'm going to be showing you guys how I use different mugs, socks, different tumbler mugs for my brands and how I sell them, how I market them, and who the targeted audience is going to be for these products. So if you are on the fence about getting a sublimation printer, the Sawgrass SG400 to me is a good bang for the buck printer. Now you might be saying there's a SG400 and an SG800. What's the big difference? To me, the difference is size of paper that you can load in there. The SG400 just does 8.5 by 11 sheets. And for me and what I'm using it for, it works perfect. I'm doing socks, mugs, different types of drinkware. And for me, like I said, it works perfect for my needs. So if you're thinking about picking up one of these machines, I'll leave the links in the description box for you. If you are still on the fence or undecided if you want to get into sublimation, I would suggest this printer because this machine right here doesn't break the bank and it'll allow you to get into sublimation at a very low cost. So I hope this video helps anybody out. If you have a MacBook Pro and you're having the same issue, make sure that you update your operating system, because if you have the newest version of VPM or the Sawgrass Print Manager software and your operating system isn't up to date, you are going to run into these same issues. My issue was I would download everything, it looked like it downloaded. When I went to open it up, bring up a blank white screen with like a funny name that says like Cassandra something in the top left corner, and I didn't understand what that was. So the simple fix was update my operating system and everything works smooth. I could print from VPM and all the prints look crisp, clean, and the clarity is perfect. And if you're wondering how I press that mug, I use the HPN Signature Series mug press. I'll leave the link for that stuff in the description also. Now, if you just wanted to get it to do socks, you could get the printer, Sawgrass SG400, and you can use your regular heat press like the Craft Pro or the Signature Series or whatever press you got. So like I said, I hope this video helps somebody out there if you're running into this same issue. But if you are running a Mac, make sure that your operating system is updated so you don't run into these same issues that I did. And I was blaming the printer when it was operator error. I should have been blaming myself. All right, catch you guys on the next one, man. Yeah.